Wow. Wow.
Before the world wakes, Mike Tyson is already moving through the dark. Road work under cold air. Fists cutting silence.
It's good to see you there, man. I killed Fabrice yesterday.
Yeah?
I killed Fabricio.
Yeah, what's he talking? That's my brother. How's he doing?
He's doing well. He's in the mountain now. Yeah. Good. Yeah, that's how I want you. Just want me to be. Here. Yes. Yes. Get it. That's too much. That's my just want you. Find the angle outside.
Every round, every breath carries intention. This is not nostalgia, not spectacle. It is discipline reborn. Somewhere ahead waits Floyd Mayweather, and Tyson is preparing like a storm, learning where to strike.
What? Oh, here we go, man. There you go. This is your work. Because we talk about your teeth, it's not your eyes don't mean it. If you move as well, you go outside, you can't see it. You can't see it. Good to the world. It's nice, yeah. Solid this time. Excellent. Yeah. Beautiful. That's mine. This is you. Just like with you. Just like the area. Hands up.
The day starts at 4 a.m. sharp. No alarms needed. Just discipline and unfinished business. Tyson laces up and hits a brutal 3, the 5-mile roadwork run, before the sun even thinks about showing up, the kind of grind that built the legend in the first place.
There's also a low number that we had a bathroom break and we ended up not getting a full 3 minutes, but the point is the numbers are there and it computes into success. It's the form coming together, creating the speed, creating the power. It's a beautiful sight to see.
Breakfast barely settles before the real work begins. 10 to 12 rounds of sparring where the gloves crack, and the pressure never lets up.
Then comes the old school torture, push-ups, dips, sit-ups, shrugs, and that classic 10 minutes of neck work that made Tyson look like a heavyweight tank.
Nice double.
Then comes the old school torture. Push-ups, dips, sit-ups, shrugs, and that classic 10 minutes of neck work that made Tyson look like a heavyweight tank. Nice double weave after. After lunch, there's no relaxing. Just another 6 rounds rotating through bag work, slip bag drills, jump rope rhythm, pad work, and the speed bag rattling like it's a drum solo in a gym. Get on your toes.
There you go.
Not again.
More calisthenics follow because apparently Tyson's idea of rest is just switching exercises. Shadow boxing comes next, slower, surgical.
Slower, surgical.
How you good, man? Ah! Oh, Lord. My Lord, Mike. You were born for this, brother.
Focus on timing and technique, sharpening the instincts that once terrified the division.
That's impressive. Everything hard. Yeah. Everything hard.
It's the body shots.
Body shots. Thanks a lot for this equipment. So, the way he train is the way he fight. Yeah, I was gonna say right now.
Finally, the day winds down with a cool-down ride on the exercise bike and studying fight footage. Every move, every pattern, every weakness. Because in Tyson's mind, this isn't an exhibition. It's preparation to make sure Floyd Mayweather never feels comfortable running again.
30 seconds, 30 seconds.
Stop the second with switch down. You hunt. Hold the shot. Nice watch.
Uncut in there.
That brutal Tyson training schedule we just walked through, the 4 a.m. road work, the endless sparring rounds, the neck work that looks like it was designed by a medieval blacksmith suddenly collides with Jeff Mayweather, calmly stepping into conversation like the family member who knows exactly how dangerous Floyd still is, but refuses to hype it like a movie trailer. Jeff basically admits he found out about Floyd's comeback the same way the rest of the world did. Which is hilarious because even the Mayweather family seems to get breaking news about Floyd at the same time as Twitter. But when Jeff starts talking about Floyd's work ethic being instilled in him, that's where I lean forward a little, because that's the part casual fans underestimate. Jeff isn't yelling that Floyd will dominate everyone. He's saying something quieter and honestly scarier. The habits never left. That gym discipline doesn't retire.
I think Floyd can still compete with these young fighters out here because he worked so hard and it's been instilled in him. And so I don't think that him coming back is going to be a setback where they think that everybody just can whoop him. It got to be somebody special that's going to try to beat him.
Then Jeff throws a reality check when Terrence Crawford's name comes up, basically saying, hold on, Bud is still active, and that might be too much to jump straight into after years away. That's not disrespect, that's veteran logic. At the same time, Jeff calls a Tyson matchup what it probably is, an exhibition spectacle, more entertainment than a war, which makes sense because two legends sharing a ring is already enough chaos for one night. But the most interesting part is when Jeff drops that uncomfortable truth about boxing today. Floyd and Pacquiao can still generate bigger money than the current generation.
I mean, I like the way that, he carries himself and basically how he, like he said, that at some point you got to walk away from this sport because something can happen to you and the money don't mean anything if something happens.
Think about that for a second. Two icons who haven't had real fights in years still overshadow entire divisions of young champions. That's not just nostalgia. That's star power physics. And Jeff finishes with a line that sticks with me. Floyd may be older, but he's not laying down for anybody. Translation: whoever signs that contract better understand that they're not stepping in there with a retired celebrity. They're stepping in there with a man who built a career turning impossible nights into long, frustrating ones for anyone across the ring.
Absolutely, but the Pacquiao and the Mike Tyson, do you know anything? You have any details about that?
Well, I mean, like I said, the Tyson and Floyd fight, it's an exhibition.
Yeah, it's an exhibition.
Probably gonna be, kind of like him and Jake Paul.
Jeff Mayweather's calm confidence about Floyd still having that old discipline barely settles before Tim Desert Storm Bradley jumps into conversation like someone kicked open the studio door and said, "All right, let's stop being polite for a second." Bradley straight up says Floyd didn't want the Pacquiao rematch years ago. And I can already hear boxing fans grabbing popcorn, because that's the kind of sentence that starts comment section wars instantly. Bradley basically argues that if Floyd truly wanted that sequel, it would have happened back when Manny was calling for it. And now, years later, the timing suddenly makes sense because the financial opportunity is too big to ignore. And look, Bradley isn't whispering it either. He's saying the quiet part out loud about how options change behavior. When you're undefeated, comfortable, and sitting on top of the sport, you can pick and choose your battles.
Mayweather has to do this fight because he needs that bread. That's why. That's why. And it's funny when you have options. When you have options, yo, you can make your choice. When you doing great and you got money in the bank and you sitting pretty, yeah. You sitting pretty, 51 or 50-0. Isn't it great? But now, when you need them, you call on them. Mayweather didn't want this damn fight with Manny Pacquiao years ago, and now he wants this damn fight now. Because he needs money, that's why.
Bradley says that moment feels different now. And whether fans agree or not, it's a fascinating angle because timing in boxing has always been half strategy, half business chess. Then Bradley throws in another layer when he references Pacquiao's recent performance in Ryan Garcia's win over Mario Barrios, suggesting Floyd might look at that landscape and think experience still beats chaos. That's classic fighter psychology right there. Watch the tape, measure the risk, then convince yourself the puzzle is solvable. But Bradley also says something that perfectly captures the weird paradox of this whole situation. It might be late, really late, yet the entire world will still watch. That's the gravity of these names. People can debate motives, question timing, roll their eyes at nostalgia. But the second Mayweather and Pacquiao appear on the same poster again, the fight world collectively pretends it wasn't curious while quietly clearing its schedule to watch. Anyway,
I don't mind legends and stuff like that. Doing this type of stuff, this is great. This is fantastic. I love it. Yes, I love it. But damn it, it's too late. It's too late. I just keep it a buck. It's damn too late. And will I be watching it? Yeah, I think the world gonna be watching it too. I think everybody gonna be watching it. However, Manny Pacquiao can't beat no damn Mayweather, man. Sorry to tell y'all. He can't beat no Mayweather, man. Nope, not at.
Tim Bradley already lit the room on fire, questioning the timing of this Mayweather-Pacquiao sequel. And then Keith, one time, Thurman strolls into the conversation, sounding way less shocked and way more philosophical about the whole circus. Thurman basically shrugs and asks the most dangerous question in boxing media. Are you going to watch it? And I laugh because that question alone destroys half the debate instantly. Bradley was arguing about motives, timing, money. Thurman flips the script and says if fans, media, and casual viewers are still tuning in, then guess what? The fight already succeeded before the bell even rings. Then Thurman drops a subtle history lesson that people overlook. He reminds everyone that Floyd opened the crossover floodgates with the Conor McGregor fight. And from there, the sport shifted into this hybrid era where spectacle, celebrity, and boxing all live in the same neighborhood. When Thurman says Jake Paul basically grabbed Floyd's blueprint and ran with it, that line hits like a sneaky jab because it explains why these Netflix-style mega events keep popping up. And Thurman's not even mad about it. He's almost sympathetic when he talks about the addiction to fight night. The adrenaline, the attention, the giant payday that hits in a single evening.
The world is ever changing, man. And Jake Paul, really, it was Floyd first, right? Floyd first did the first ever big super crossover celebrity boxing match against Conor McGregor, who was a UFC fighter. Who was Jake Paul fighting a lot of boxing matches against? Ex-UFC fighters. So it's almost like Floyd set up the blueprint, and then, Jake Paul took it to another level. And Floyd's like, hey, man, I can't just let these young people do something better than me.
The giant payday that hits in a single evening. That's the part outsiders don't understand. You don't just retire from a job. You retire from a feeling. Thurman even brings up Roy Jones as a cautionary example, a legend who kept chasing that energy long after peak. But here's where Thurman's logic collides with Bradley's criticism in the funniest way. He admits the fight might be late, yet he also knows the entire world will still watch it anyway. So suddenly the argument stops being about whether it should happen and turns into the only question that actually matters in prize fighting. Are you entertained? Because if the answer is yes, boxing will always find a way to sell the moment. On one side, you got Mike Tyson waking up before sunrise, grinding through road work, sparring rounds, and old-school punishment like he's trying to rewind the clock through pure willpower. On the other side, you've got Floyd Mayweather, the master strategist, the man whose entire career was built on discipline, precision, and making opponents look like they were chasing shadows all night. Then you throw in Jeff Mayweather reminding everyone that Floyd's habits never left. Bradley stirring the pot about timing and motivation, and Thurman calmly pointing out the one truth nobody can escape. If the world is still watching, the fight still matters. That's the strange gravity of legends. Logic says the moment passed years ago. Emotion says a rivalry never really left. Somewhere in the middle sits the reality of boxing where nostalgia, curiosity, and business collide into one giant spectacle. And honestly, whether people admit it or not, when names like Tyson, Mayweather, and Pacquiao enter the conversation, the entire fight world stops and listens for a second.
He getting all this bread. I used to be the money man. I was the money man, and it is what it is, man. He lives a very fancy lifestyle. Some people say that, that they need the money. Pacquiao needs the money. Floyd needs the money. Hey, man, you need the money, get back in the business and make the money. It is what it is, man. But this is what boxers know best. I mean, it's hard.
But now I want to hear from you. Do you think this is still a fight worth watching, or is it a moment that should have stayed in the past? Is Tyson's intensity enough to shake Floyd's legendary defense? Or does Mayweather's ring IQ still control the entire chessboard even at this stage? Drop your take in the comments. Let's really talk about it. And don't ever forget to like, share, and subscribe to US Box Pro.